What's ironic about this next story is I was just talking about it.
Really? Well, let's hear what the digital team uncovered. Take a look.
So this week I'm thinking, how about a ghost story?
A local ghost story packed with some Terre Haute history. We are talking about the Preston House.
And when it was torn down in 1988, it was actually one of the oldest standing houses in Vigo County.
Before we get into the haunted side of this story, let's dig into the history side of it.
Major George DeWeese built the Preston House around 1823. When he built that property out on what we now refer to as 13th and Half and Poplar, it was considered frontier.
That's right. It's hard to imagine that the 13th and Poplar area in Terre Haute wasn't even settled at the time. This legend, however, involves George's wife, Matilda.
George and Matilda divorced in 1832, and after the divorce, well, actually they separated and then were later divorced, but after they separated, Matilda was never seen again around here.
And that's where this story takes a twist. Legend has it, George murdered his wife, Matilda.
So, for this story, we enlisted the help of David and Chris with the Path Paranormal Investigation Group.
Exactly what you find with your folklore. It's just how the wife was buried in the chimney. Everything, they couldn't find any traces of it when it crumbled because that's where the crumbling of the building started.
And of course, we asked David about some of the haunted stories he has heard involving this house.
People saying, you know, they try to go there to see if they could still hear like the music and song stuff that they claim you can still hear.
While the property may be haunted, history tells us that Matilda probably wasn't to blame. In fact, one piece of paperwork says she didn't end up in that chimney at all.
Well, we do know that there was a bill of sale about 14 months after Major George DeWeese died that shows that Matilda was purchasing the slaves that they had owned, that George had owned.
Now, while it is safe to say this is one legend we can prove isn't true, there are still many questions.
That's right, like where did Matilda go and why was the house torn down? And what did they actually find in that chimney?
We have those answers and other stories along with WTHI's coverage from 1988 when they tore down the Preston House. All of that over on WTHI-TV.com.
I'm gonna have to check out that archive footage.
So, when you were younger, did you go creeping around the Preston House?
I was always chicken. I was one that always hung back in the group.
Okay. All right. I've heard about it.
How about you?
No, I was never there. I was never there.
Okay.
I heard a lot of the stories, though.